Welcome. It's Saturday, and that's this thing that we do where we open boxes and show you guys stuff that we got. So I wanted to do that. A couple of things before we jump into that. One, we are still doing through this weekend our Dragon Constellation event. That's right, that's our Sad Dragon. We've been doing it in the past when folks can't go to Dragon Con, but everybody else in Huntsville has gone to Dragon Con, which is frequently. So we have decided to hold our Dragon Constellation event this year because nobody could go to Dragon Con. You went to Dragon Con at your house or not at all. But as part of our Dragon Constellation event and our cute, sad dragon, he's so sad, um, we are selling all of our board games. We're trying to get them out of here. Um, so all of our board games are 50% off, and we would encourage you to come down and pick some up, please. We also have all of our trades on buy one, get one right now. So if there's a trade you've been looking for or a series you're wanting to read, pick up the first one, get the second one for free. I mean, it's a pretty good deal. So part of our Dragon Constellation event, come on down, get some cool stuff. So that is that. A couple things that we just stumbled upon in case you need these things. We have Venom 24. We have Venom 25. We might have this weird little book that people are excited about called Venom 26. And yeah, just for fun, we still got Venom 27. So if you need any of that stuff, we got it. What a fun coincidence. Somebody's popping in here in the comments. Who is it? It is Aaron Michaels. That intro is so fresh. It gets me every time. We like to use the adjective fresh. Aaron, while you're on here, toss us a quick little comment on what you thought of New Mutants, since I know you went to see New Mutants yesterday down in Orlando, where you live. I'm not sad at all. I'm just disappointed. So yeah, let us know. So some other stuff that we got in recently before I jump into the box of stuff which I have not yet seen. We got in Moon Knight #1. Not the first appearance of Moon Knight, but it is the first appearance of his arch nemesis Bushman, and this copy is in pretty darn good shape. I'm going to have to say the wrap is good. The edges are good. I don't see anything in the way of color breaks. The corner might be a little bit rounded, just a smidge, but that's a good looking book. We got us a Wolverine #1. That's for the ongoing series, not for the mini. We have the #1 of the mini series up on the wall here at the shop. So yeah, come down, take a look at that. Ryan Williams Comics and Death Metal himself. How are you, sir? Good to see you. We got a Young Avengers #1, and that was a fantastic book, I have to say. This is good stuff. If you've not read this first series of Young Avengers was spectacular. All right, we have our quick mini review of New Mutants. Let's see. Interesting. All the goodies were in the promos. Okay. A lot of magic was the crown jewel. Some interesting Mr. Sinister teases. Okay. And John Hamm was supposed to play Mr. Sinister in a sequel. Interesting casting choice. Okay. So, Mighty Thor, number 391. What in the heck is so important about this, you say? That's a good question. I don't blame you for asking. This is the first Eric Masterson, who went on to become Thunderstrike, who took over for Thor there for a while. So Thor being on the outs with being Thor, it seems to be a common problem that he has, and he might want to look into that. He's got some daddy issues he may want to look into. We have Moon Knight. As you guys can't tell, I love me some Moon Knight. That's Moon Knight number 15. I've just always particularly liked that cover. And that is the first appearance of Xenos. So that's exciting. We have G.I. Joe #1 from when Image took over the book. And this is signed by quite a few people, including Josh Blaylock. It looks like the entire creative team, actually. It's fantabulous. And it's also got the certificate of authenticity there on the back, so you know that somebody really printed that. Presumably, it's all good. This one, I know the provenance of this, so this one makes me happy. Can't get any more of these because he's not with us anymore, sadly. But that right there is Frankenstein Alive, signed by Mr. Bernie Wrightson himself. That right there, Bernie Wrightson, the definitive artist for Frankenstein, in my opinion. Another classic, you can't beat this. That's right, G.I. Joe #2. For the longest time, this one was the exception that proved the rule. G.I. Joe #2 was worth so much more than G.I. Joe #1, just because it had a much lower print run. And G.I. Joe #1 turned out to be really popular, and people weren't necessarily expecting it. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, somebody at Spinner Rack knows where I got that signed book by Mr. Bernie Wrightson, because I might have got it from our friends at the Spinner Rack. They have all kinds of stuff. Like right now, he's got a Giant Size X-Men #1 and a slew of other early X-Men books from the Giant Size era and forward mostly, signed by Chris Claremont, Stan Lee. It's fantabulous. Bernie made Swamp Thing special. You could not be more right. Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing. I think Swamp Thing would have just kind of disappeared into the ether otherwise, but Bernie Wrightson made Swamp Thing special. I think you're absolutely right. Now, this is a book that I don't know if anybody on the planet actually cares about. If you do, we have it. It's just a fun one, and I couldn't resist showing it off because it is Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you need your very own wrestling comic, we've got it. Fresh off the top rope, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So that's fun. Now we're going to get into the mystery pack of stuff. We took it out of the box because this back room is swimming in boxes right now. I've got to cut down a lot of boxes this afternoon. But we took it out of the box already. I have no idea what's in here. Once again, I know I paid for all of it and I bought it all. I just don't remember what it was because it was a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to open this up and we're going to see what we get. And I will be as surprised as you. How's that sound to everybody? That was a very protective bag and everything feels well protected. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this one is probably just going to go home with me because this is awesome. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of the Disney parks. I love me some Disney World. I love Disneyland. And this is Walt Disney's Vacation in Disneyland, celebrating Disneyland's 10th anniversary. So this would have been 1965. It's a second print, but that is beautiful. And that makes me so happy. That's just awesome. And this right here, that's why they closed the Sky Buckets and you can't ride them anymore. Okay, it was really lawyers, but you know. See, what have we here? Oh, yes, indeed. Y'all might have noticed I've been on a little bit of a kick for the past several years. But this right here, Werewolf by Night, number 37. That is the third appearance of Moon Knight. So he was in 32 and 33, and then he reappeared in 37. So that's awesome. And this book, there's a little bit of wear on the corners. Looks like all four corners. A couple of spine ticks. But, yeah, that's a good solid mid to high mid. High mid. That's good stuff. Want a first woodchuck? Junior woodchuck? Shoot, man. Yeah, I'll take some junior woodchucks. I dig me some Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Werewolf by Night, number 3. We're getting into some weird territory now. This is only the 6th appearance of Werewolf by Night. So he had 3 appearances in Marvel Spotlight before he showed up in his own book. But that is amazing. Now we're talking. Okay. Here is number 1 through number 8, the entire series of A Nightmare on Elm Street from 2007. 2006, 2007. This was a good run. It was a good story, and this is the entire story, all 8 issues in one fell swoop, right there. You want you an instant Nightmare on Elm Street story? We can hook you up. That's some good stuff. Let's see here. Now, Steve Hinton, if you are still on here, this is the kind of book that I know you like. This is Battle, number 67. The mission that had to fail, even though it can't fail. It was too important to fail. I flew in the Berlin airlift. I was a recruit under fire. I faced the enemy. Battle, number 67. Still only 10 cents, as you can see. But after the Comics Code Authority, so that would place that in the mid-50s there at some point, I would guess. This one, not bagged and boarded for some reason. Let's check the date on this bad boy, because this is a much bigger book. This is June 1959. This is The Illustrated Story of the Navy. The World Around Us. Check that out. How awesome is that? I assume that you're talking about the Battle book and not the Navy book, although you could be. Let's see what we got here. I've ever tried to move it for $10 for years. Your excitement has inspired me to reopen. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the Junior Woodchucks. Man, I love Disney stuff. Always have. Always have. Let's see. Getting back to the old Golden Age stuff. This is a Charlton publication, The Masked Raider. Number 2. Got you a Western. Man, Steve, I wish we'd had all this stuff when you were here earlier, because old World War II books and Western books, I know you dig both of those. The Masked Raider, good old Golden Age awesomeness. That makes me happy. Getting into some mid-70s Marvel horror. We've got the first issue of this up on the wall, actually, and so it's cool to have the second issue here, but we have Fear. Number 2. Fear. I am afeared. I am afraid. Next up, we have... we just had this book in not too long ago, and we got it back in because it's that cool. Supernatural Thrillers, number 8, featuring The Living Mummy. And for those who don't know, this is also the first team appearance of the Elementals. So you want some Elementals? They show up in here. Who does not love this? This is good stuff. This is when comics were awesome. Comics are still awesome, but this is a different kind of awesome. And it makes me happy. Oh, wow. Okay, this has that fold right down the middle that says that this was somebody's subscription comic. And that's how they received it, which is really unfortunate because it is a perfect crease right down the middle. That said, even with that, this is still a great looking book. And again, we got us an old 10-cent Dell. This is a Lone Ranger number 82 from 1955. Look at that. That is pure awesomeness, and that makes me happy. Other things that make me happy, and you should come down here and get one. These are Haven Comics magnets. They will stick to pretty much anything metal. I do not have a plate in my head, or I would stick it to my head and show you. But Haven Comics magnets, you can come down here and get them. We've got them for $3 a piece, and we've got a bunch of them. So come down, pick up your magnets, make sure that you display it somewhere super cool, so that we can all be jealous of where you chose to display it. That looks like it for today. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for jumping in the comments, everybody. And appreciate the Junior Woodchucks book there, Owen. That's awesome. It makes me super happy because it's Junior Woodchucks, and that's awesome. And look at these teeth. I was made for a Junior Woodchucks book. If ever anybody was, it's me. So that is awesomeness. Anyway, thank you guys for popping on. Come on out to the store today. Pick up some games. Board games are 50% off, which is spectacular. We've got our trades or buy one, get one. And in case you don't remember why, that's because it is our Dragon Consolation event. It's a sad dragon. It's a sad day. So yeah, thank you guys. Come on out, buy some cool stuff, hang out with us, talk comics, talk games, talk what have you, talk football. Football starting back up. How cool is that? And anyway, we will see you guys here shortly. Thank you all for tuning in, and hope this turned out well on YouTube because it's our first time on YouTube. So thank you, YouTube, for being such a pleasant and nice host.